Tell someone you live in Riverside and they might say, yeah, I've driven through the place on my way to Palm Springs. Or they might mention the Mission Inn. Or they might go on and on about the raceway that no longer exists. But for those who truly know and love Riverside, it won't take long before they mention Victoria Avenue.
Come away with me, Lucille, in my merry Oldsmobile.
Lined with palm trees and once bordered by acres of lush citrus groves, this throwback thoroughfare slices through Riverside's greenbelt. Over the years, the city has renovated Victoria Bridge. Volunteers have planted roses. Riversiders walk the avenue. They ride the avenue on their bicycles. They drive the avenue, following in the tire tracks of previous generations. As part of its so-called renaissance, the city recently poured nearly $2 million into Victoria Avenue. It spruced up the medians and installed dual irrigation lines. You can tell that the gray water meters are already in place. They're the ones encased in lavender. Perhaps the most ambitious part of the latest Victoria Avenue project is the completion of the stretch between Boundary and La Sierra Avenues in the western reaches of the city. Victoria Avenue as we know it, a grand and divided roadway, once ended at Boundary. Not now. A plan that was just a dream for decades is now a vivid reality. But the Victoria Avenue redo is not simply a story of beauty. It is a story of mystery and intrigue. It begins at Harrison Avenue, about 1 mile west of bustling Van Buren Boulevard. Bill Chamberlain, a Riversider who lives right around the corner, is the man who made an amazing discovery. Bill, tell us what happened.
One day I noticed they were cleaning this whole area up, and I was happy, thinking, well, maybe a Victoria Avenue Forever group was just clearing it up to keep Victoria Avenue clean. Then I noticed a big grader moved in and graded the whole area. I thought, well, that's interesting. I wonder why they're grading this whole area. Then I noticed a whole construction crew bringing in curbing, and I thought, what in the world are they doing with this old dirt path that no one's been on since I've lived here 12 years? Then they brought in DG and filled it in. I couldn't imagine why, because if you pan down that way, you'll notice that it goes nowhere. And I told my wife that Sarah Palin and Senator Stevens had nothing on Riverside because their bridge didn't make it, but we actually got our path to nowhere.
He's a real nowhere man, sitting in his nowhere land, making all his nowhere plans for nobody.
Why did the city build this path? We have stories. It used to be a rundown walking trail. This is the upgrade. But there's a walking path across the street, although it's not in nearly as good condition as the path to nowhere. The city once envisioned this path extending all the way to Van Buren Boulevard. Then voters outlawed high-density development in the Greenbelt, stopping this path in its tracks. Laura Yates of Victoria Avenue Forever, a group of passionate preservationists, said improving the path was a mistake. It got lost in the big Victoria Avenue improvement picture. The city says it cannot say exactly how much it costs. The question is what to do with it. Laura Yates suggests lawn bowling. Or Riverside could tout it as a tourist attraction. Or maybe it will continue to be a path for Riversiders to walk as they ponder the deep philosophical questions such as, who am I? And where am I going?
We're on a road to nowhere. Come on inside. Taking